It's college game day. We are so excited that college football is back. Whew. And today is opening day. So we are making what I've always made every college first Saturday meal is my oven baked baby back ribs. So let's get started and making these together so that you can have it for your college game day Saturday. So I've opened up the package and I am just making sure that all this extra liquid is off of the ribs. It's going to provide a better rub. And I'm just using the paper towel to make sure that it's nice and dry. I get our ribs from our local grocer when they have them the buy one, get one free. Put them in the freezer so we can have them to enjoy throughout the college football season. Now I'm just removing this lining on the back of it. I have found that if it's at room temperature, it is easier to get off of the back of the ribs. You want to make sure you get it all off because to me, I can taste it when I'm actually eating it. So there are probably quicker ways to do this. A friend of ours told us of a special knife, but we have not invested in that. So I'm just using a regular knife, making sure that I don't cut myself. Okay, I've gotten it all off and I'm just making sure that I have it really dry. And let me get my pan that I'm going to be baking it in. Now you can use an aluminum pan to put in the oven, but I already have these Le Crozettes that work perfectly fine. I'm going to put 1 sheet of aluminum foil on the bottom, and for coating purposes, I'm going to put it bone side up, but then we're going to bake it bone side down. I'm going to put that over here because we're going to mix our spices. So in a bowl, I'm going to put my salt, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, making sure I have all of it out. We're going to put our chili powder in. Our pepper. And our cayenne pepper. Now the recipe that I'm listing below is a recipe for 2 racks of ribs, but I have found that I like it just for 1 rack of ribs. So I'm just going to mix it up really good. Okay, we got a good mixture there. Now we're ready to start marinating our ribs. Now again, the recipe I'm listing below is talking about 2 rack of ribs. Again, I like it for 1 rack of ribs. For the liquid smoke, I'm very generous with it. I don't measure it because I really like the flavoring on it. I've used hickory and I've used mesquite flavoring liquid smoke, and they're both excellent on it. Once I got that coated really well, before I turn it over, I am going to add half of the spice mixture. and just begin rubbing it in. I like to get to the very edges of them. Now this rack of ribs is for my husband and myself. We'll have some leftovers. If we were having people over for game day, I would do a few more of these. And I find that these taste, to me, just as good or even better than what you can do on the grill. Okay, that's really good and coated. Then we're gonna take 1/8 of a cup of the dark brown sugar. And you want it, this is 1/4 of a cup. I'm just taking half of that for the back. And finishing this rub. When I haven't had dark brown sugar, I have used light brown sugar, and it tasted good, but I really like the depth of flavoring that the dark brown sugar really provides. We're gonna flip it over, and we're gonna repeat the process on the front, adding the liquid smoke. Again, I'm super generous with it. In fact, this is our last bit. I put it on my grocery list because we use it quite a bit during football season. I'm gonna really coat this well. And we'll add like a side salad to this. As well. Okay, we're gonna do the remainder of the spices. Getting to the very ends of it. If it's any in the bottom, I kind of gather those and apply those to the meat. Okay, we're going to add the remainder of the brown sugar. This smells so amazing already. You can make this ahead of time. All right, let's get this covered. And I am going to put this in the refrigerator to marinate for about 4 hours. You can do it between 2 and 4 hours before you begin cooking. Again, if you don't have the time before you're about to serve, you could put this immediately into the oven. It does take about 3.5 hours to bake, so make sure that you lock that. But let's cover this up and put it in to the refrigerator. All right, I'm finishing up the last little crimping. We're ready to put this into the refrigerator to marinate between 2 to 4 hours. But in the meantime, I would love for you to comment below, who is your favorite college football team? I would love to know who you're cheering for this fall. We have the ribs in the oven at 275. I'm gonna let these cook between 3 to 3.5 hours. I like them at 3.5 hours. They're more tender, but if you were in my house right now, oh my goodness, the aroma from all of those spices, it smells really good already. So the house is really smelling amazing. I'm getting my barbecue sauce out because I like to baste that the very end and let it broil for a few minutes. Usually I use Sweet Baby Ray's on top of it, but we were gifted some smoky rib sauce. So I'm gonna try that and see how it tastes. I've not tasted it yet. That might be really good on it. I may mix the two, the Sweet Baby Ray's and this rib sauce, because this has a little kick to it. And maybe the combination. So let's try that together. Now that I've got this mixed together, Let me try it with the new spoon. Oh, that's good. That's good. So we're gonna baste this on the top of the ribs and then broil them just for a few minutes to get them nice and kind of caramelized on top. It is almost time for kickoff, so we are going to slather this rack of ribs with this barbecue sauce on top and broil it until it becomes nice, what I call kind of crunchy, crusty, caramelized. We're going to be very, very generous with this. It's layered really well. You can always add more or less depending on your taste. Now it's ready to go back in the oven on broil until it gets nice and caramelized. Look at the color on these ribs. Oh my goodness. They smell amazing, they look amazing, and they tasted fabulous. This is our go-to recipe for the first college football weekend every year. It's a no-fail recipe, super easy, and they were good. So I hope that you found value in this video. If so, please consider giving it a thumbs up and click that notification bell, because I will be back next weekend to share another recipe. Have a great day and go team!